Hey guys, Glockster42, Scale Model Alberta. I hope this finds everyone well in 2021. Let's take a look at the post-build review of the Zvezda Sherman M4A2 75mm short barrel. This was an interesting kit. I haven't built a lot of Zvezda. It had some really nice features and then one kind of fatal flaw, I'm afraid. Okay, let's take a look at the instruction sheet. Nice big 8.5 by 11 sheets, which you think, looking there, it's going to be, oh good, these are going to be nice instruction sheets. Then you open it up. Come on guys. Okay, we got parts breakdown here. Awesome. But then, what do? They make it hard to open. No, that's just me. They cramp the hell out of it. We've got 4 steps on one sheet. You know, it's not bad, but yeah, guys, a couple extra sheets ain't going to kill you. Like I said, it's not bad. You know what? When I'm bitching about that stuffs are better than Dragon instructions, and I'm bitching that they're kind of cramped like this, well, maybe I need to reevaluate how I look at things. Turret goes together really nice, really simple, straightforward, good fit. There's only a little bit of seam right along here. A2 to the hull needs to be filled in. There's absolutely zero texture on this turret. And I'm a little leery about their turret design. They have a very sharp edge coming along here and a very, very sharp edge coming along here. Like, we're talking a step. It's like almost a 90. Well, it's not a 90, but it's a hard angle there. And I've never seen any Shermans with a hard angle in the turret. So, like I said, I've never seen any reference photos of a really hard angle. Maybe they did and I just haven't seen it. But right along this edge right here and right along here, there is a solid, hard line. And I just don't think that looks right. This should all flow naturally. So I took a really coarse sanding stick, sanded it all out, cleaned it up, and added a little bit of texture. You can see the color difference right there. That's the, to me, putty versus the area where I sanded it off and tried to blend it in. So keep an eye on that. If your references show a really solid, hard edge there, well, just leave it. I really like the antenna. Nice, thick antenna. Looks very, very good. Put the antenna on. There's no seam here whatsoever you need to worry about. The turret builds up great. I chose to leave off the 50 cal because the reference photos I've seen of the tank I use, no 50s on these. My apologies, boys. For some reason I painted this suspension out black. I honestly, when I first built this, I hadn't planned on doing a post-build review, but I thought, you know what, why not? Let's take a look at this. So, well, actually, let's take a look at the instruction sheet here so you can have an idea what the suspension's like to build. Now, then, as you can see, the wheels are multi-piece. They give you a couple different options. They give you the solid and the hollow wheels. I chose to mix it up a bit. Multi-piece rear vertical suspension. They go together really well. There's no seam to clean up on those tires. They fit really good and it's an easy build. Everything lines up. The front drive sprockets are great. All these almost as good as Tamiya. Now they've got you putting in B3 right there. Don't do it, boys. Don't put that one in until you're ready to put on this piece here, B15. I would actually put B15 and B3 together because this has to be seamless where the seam is up on top on these. Everything is just awesome until you get to the tracks. Now you'd think, well, geez, Glockster, these tracks look pretty good. Well, that's what I thought. Boy, these tracks looks pretty damn good. You've got a long, solid molding there. You get another long, solid piece there with a tiny little bit of sag built in, maybe shouldn't. And then you've got another solid little piece there, and then some link-to-link around the idler and drive. Hey, that looks pretty good. Alright guys, this might be a little difficult to see with all this black paint on there. My apologies, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing a post-build review. But, if you can see it right there, each link on both sides is half a link short. I've got a picture I took before I painted this. I'll roll that in now so you can take a look at it. So yeah, both sides are identical. Each side is exactly half a link out. So I don't know whether it was my building or it's the kit like this, which is a real shame because I really like these type of tracks. You don't see them very often on kits, and Zvezda does not give you any extra links. They give you just enough links, and both sides are unfortunately a half a link too short. Now you could pull one side and get it. If you took one from this side and put it on the other, you'd have a perfect side, but then you'd be 2 links short on this side, so I went with half a link short on both sides. Now on Instagram, I had a gentleman ask me if I couldn't have just adjusted that rear idler back and forth to tighten or loosen the tracks like in the real thing. There's no possible way, the way they've got this kit built, that you could actually get any movement right out of that wheel unless you pretty much did major surgery. And at that point, yeah, when you're trying to get the final piece of track in, and yeah. So I'm just going to live with the tracks the way they are. Throw some mud on them and some battle damage and call them good. At that point I said to hell with it, I'm going to make it a knocked out tank, and I put a hell of a 88 shot coming in right to the front transmission cover. Built it up with a little bit of putty to make it look like a really good hit. Now this is where I was talking to you about this piece here. This was cast on with this piece, and then it was bolted onto the upper hull. So this has to be completely seamless. You can have a seam up top. Now another part that unfortunately didn't look like it got molded into my kit was part number B41, which is a piece of armor that goes behind here that fills in this area. Wasn't even molded into my sprue, so I just built that up with a little bit of putty. Yeah, it is what it is. It comes with the extra armor pieces with absolutely no rolled texture whatsoever. I cut in a weld scorch marks along the side where there was cut with an acetylene torch, and then added some plastic putty around the sides on both sides just to give it a kind of tiny bit of a weld seam. Now the only other real fiddly part I had was I thought would be pretty straightforward, was mounting these 2 bottom fenders on. They were just an SOB to get all lined up underneath here. They didn't fit worth a damn. I could not get B24 on. It would just hit the track, so I rolled that off. You can't really see it underneath there anyway. And yeah, that was a bit of a fiddly bit. All the rest of the upper hull was very easy to put together. Nice detail, little bit of gap in some of these mounting points that needed to be cleaned up. Nice periscopes, nice grab handles and all, everything. Really, honestly, well done. Other than those tracks, I really enjoyed building this kit. Alright, big tow cable. Unfortunately, I could not use it because it was broken in several spots, because for some reason Zvezda throws everything in one big plastic bag, and the tow cable was mashed up to, well, it was mashed up completely. So I'll have to add a steel picture hanger wire tow cable on it. All in all, builds up to a fairly nice Sherman. That one part in the front had fit, and if the tracks would have gone in, that probably would have been really a highly recommended kit. So for decals, the decals are pretty straightforward. We'll show those in here in a bit. But just a small painting guide. It gives you 2 American options. One for 43 in the Maryland Proving Grounds. The bottom one is looks like, I'm not sure if it's a Marine. Yes, U.S. Marine Corps in the Marianas Island in the bottom, which would be actually really cool. Be something different. And then of course there's Soviet versions. One for Yalta and then one for Belarus in 44 and Yalta in 44. So definitely I built this as a Lend-Lease Soviet tank, and there we go. There's a picture of the decals. Let's take a look at what the decals actually look like. Well, no joy in the decals. They're somewhere kicking around, but they look kind of cloudy and milky. I'm not sure what the Zvezda decals are going to be like. We'll know when we actually go to put them on and paint it. But there's the decal sheet, the picture of the decal sheet right there. They give you some decals for some, I'm not sure if they're oil cans or canned beans or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting decal sheet. Alright, there we have it, boys. The Zvezda M4A2 75mm short barrel. Would I build this kit again? Oh, geez. Honestly, the jury's still out. Had those tracks fit perfectly? Yes. I would have built this kit again. It's about $10 less expensive than the comparable Tamiya. $10–15 less expensive than the comparable Tamiya. Considerably less expensive than some of the new ones coming out, like, you know, $40 or $50 cheaper. I paid $65.99 for this one. Probably that's going to run to about, I don't know, 50 pounds sterling, $48 US, or 37–38 euros if you swing that way. But yeah, there's some problems to the kit, but it looks really good when it's done. Would I build it again? Probably. Yeah, I'd build this again. Would I buy extra tracks for it? Hell no. No, I wouldn't buy tracks for it. I'd figure something else out. Knowing what I know now, maybe I'd try and build it a little bit differently, but recommended. Just know what you're getting into with those tracks, guys, and take a run at it. Hey, it was actually a fun build right to that point. So, anyway, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Hell, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. I just like the interaction. The more interaction I get, the better the algorithm is with YouTube. So, anyway, if you like what you see, subscribe, thumbs up, hit that notifications button. I'm going to try and do at least a video a week until work starts kicking a little bit faster, and we'll go from there. Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. Appreciate it.